Hey guys, and welcome back. And today we're going to take this metal tin, this same one that I had these fluorescent pencils I got when I was in London this last year, and we're going to turn it into a travel watercolor palette. So ever since I got these pencils the end of this last year, I didn't really care to keep the pencils in this case, and I was really excited to use this metal case as a watercolor palette, especially for traveling, since it's nice and thin and can be easily thrown into a bag, but also is quite large to fit a bunch of colors. So here I'm just arranging them and figuring out what colors make sense next to each other. You can see I am using magnetic tape, which I happen to have, but you can get something like this at a Daiso near you if you have one. I obviously love this store, and last time I was there I saw that they had magnetic tape. So this is definitely something you can use, and you can see here it's quite strong, and these little pans will not move, which is really fantastic. So I had this metal tin in my stash for a little while. I had taken the pencils out and I am sort of using them and practicing with them. I might have a video reviewing them in the future, but I had these wonderful watercolor samples sent to me by an amazing patron over on my Patreon who is a lover of similar watercolors and color palettes to what I paint in, and so she super kindly sent me these amazing colors, and you can see them tested on the original packaging she sent them in up in the kind of top there. I wanted to put these into something that I could easily use on a more regular basis and really get use out of these samples, test out these brands that I haven't tried before, and just have this fun palette that was made for me in rotation. I also love that the size and shape of this allows you to fit a water brush in there, as well as a few other goodies that you'll see a little bit later. I also have this piece of watercolor paper. This is a cotton watercolor paper because I've been trying to transition into that just a little bit more. And so I did little swatches. As you can see, I put a black line with one of my black Parku alcohol markers just so I can see the opacity. And I do this with most of these swatches that I do. And so I just swatch these out, and as you can see, so many of these colors are just so lovely. A couple of these colors even have a shimmer to them, and I am blown away with how pretty these colors are. Oh my gosh, look at that opera rose. I've been wanting an opera rose for a very long time. I have a similar color in a Winsor & Newton ink, and it is so painfully not light fast that it has faded on me so super quickly for the pieces that I've done, and it's been really sad, but I'm happy to try out this Daniel Smith watercolor opera rose, so hopefully it'll last a little bit longer. As you can see here too, I have basically just put in a regular white piece of paper that I have faux laminated with just clear packing tape, and now I am going in with my glue gun, similar to what I've done in my other watercolor palette, and I'm making pretty shallow little mixing wells just so I have a little bit of separation for mixing colors, and it's not impeding too much on closing the actual case. So my idea for this was to have the mixing wells in the top. I wanted it to be white, and the metal is definitely not white, and I wanted something a little bit more waterproof, so that's why I laminated that piece of paper and just stuck it in. I didn't even glue it in, it just sort of fits. I snugly cut it to those exact dimensions, and then I have my little swatch sheet that fits in there pretty perfectly. And here you go, you can see me using this. I even have space for a pencil and an eraser and my water brush. So I basically have everything I need aside from the paper and possibly paper towel, but I do have a little bit of paper towel in there just so I can, wherever I go, just sit down and start painting. And as you can see here, I am painting one of my artist trading cards, or ACEOs, which is, they're a little interchangeable, but I have been doing an April challenge that was started by Claire over at Black Summer Coloring, and I have talked about her a little bit in my last video, but I wanted to show you a little bit of a time lapse of me using this set of watercolors and having it kind of in action, and painting one of my cards, which I have been doing one a day every single day in April, and we're almost to the end here. I am a little behind, but I'm catching up today, and hopefully we'll have all 30 of them done by the end of April, which is just about here. So I originally started the first artist trading cards in a different medium. I think I was using kind of water-based markers, and I just was really missing watercolor, and so I really wanted to sit down and use watercolors for these, and I thought, what better way to get started using my little samples than to practice with these artist trading cards. And so that's what I've been doing, and this was actually the first piece that I did with these paints, and I think it turned out really beautifully. Part of that is I am using nicer paper, part of it is just these watercolors, a combination of Daniel Smith and M. Graham, and what else do I have in there? It's a lot of M. Graham and Daniel Smith, which are brands that I don't use very often, and so it's been really fun to play around with those. And yeah, I wanted to show you at least one of the cards, since I did not do videos for all of these for this challenge. And so here's my little time lapse of this little Stegosaurus that also has leaves and succulents, because that's what I do. And I also wanted to mention that I have been posting every single one of these on my Instagram, and if you head over there, I'll have a link down below, you can actually see which ones are still available. I am selling all of these at a pretty discounted price for an original piece of mine, and if you're interested, shipping is included. This is domestic within the US, but if you are interested in any of my designs, just feel free to send me a DM and I can let you know if they are still available. And yeah, I have them all available, and once April is over, I will actually be selling these at a higher price. So if you are interested in any of them, make sure to go snatch them up before they are gone or before the price increases. So here at the end, I'm just going over all my line work with one of my blue microns, and that's just about it. So I hope you enjoyed this little time-lapse art piece and this light tutorial of me showing you how I put together this little travel watercolor case to try out these watercolor samples that were sent to me. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, make sure to leave me a like. That's really helpful, as well as subscribe if you're interested in seeing more art content like this. And as always, I hope you have a creatively fulfilled day, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!